My name is Carmelo. I've just released a single. It's called No Breaks. I've come off the 2012 season of The X Factor, and over time I've been working on writing and creating my own sort of music, and now we've actually finally released this single, and we've managed to pop it up the soul and R&B charts to number 10, which was great.
Absolutely, I heard about that. I was very happy for you.
Exciting. It happened in a day, and so I was just like, what? it was very strange. I had this little moment of, you know, you're looking at your phone and you're just like, oh, hang on, and then you try to call like everyone you know, and no one picks up their phone.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your single, what it's about, what the inspiration for the song is?
So No Breaks, I'd written it at a time when there was generally a lot of obstacles, when you were still sort of trying to find your feet and stuff like that in it was music industry, but with the way I'd written it, it was really more about life itself, and it's really about when things sort of get in your way, and it's one of those sort of keep smiling, you've got to keep running, and you sort of break through those barriers, and while everything's kind of drag you down, and it's really one of those sort of believe in yourself kind of songs, I guess.
I know how much you adore Maroon 5. How much of an influence were they?
Well, I don't know. So Maroon 5, it always started out, I was a big fan of them, even from when I was a little kid. We had the old SingStar games and stuff like that, and you know, I still have all their songs. I still listen to them all the time, and the producer that we were actually set up with, that I co-wrote the song with, has actually worked with Adam Levine before, the lead singer of Maroon 5.
Yeah.
And when we were set up with him, they actually thought it would be quite a good match, and I hadn't even known that until I had seen these songs on his computer that he had started producing, and was just like, wait, so what's Adam Levine like? And yeah, no, but it turned out to be, you know, quite a good fit, and I was very happy with how that went. Your
single has been quite successful. Do you credit your experience at X Factor for it?
Definitely. Well, I probably wouldn't be where I am today without the experiences I had on the X Factor. It taught me a lot, and it taught me to use my voice under those very high pressure situations. It made me fly through so many barriers that a lot of singers would have to deal with when they're starting out, and I'm very thankful for that. At the same time, there are still a fair few things that I've had to learn, and I think the past year and a half has sort of really been about that, which has been, yeah, good.
What's the next plan? So you're going to be doing albums?
Yeah, so I guess over that time I have found myself, and I've managed to perform in some amazing places to some amazing crowds. But over the period, I've actually been writing quite a bit, and we've got something like 10 songs already ready to go, and they're almost completely finished, and they're really just up to the polishing up process, which is great. And so the way I figure it is, with all we've been through in the past year, we've only got maybe 2-3 more songs to write before we've got an album, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're not far off. An album's definitely coming up and in the works, because we're actually, just by default, we've actually just gotten that close to it with all the work we've been doing and all the writing, and yeah.
I can say in all honesty that I know a lot of myself and waiting for an album from you, a lot of Australians. We've talked about your X Factor audition and how many views you've had so far. Have you gone through the comments, because there is a lot of love for you? Like,
yeah, no, it's pretty surprising actually. I find it very just strange to believe, because you'll see
people like you and you're good.
Well, funny thing is, I didn't. When I was on the X Factor, the very first audition, Luke Jacobs, the host, had actually asked me, what are you hoping to get out of this audition? And I think this was before I had even auditioned, and at that point I didn't know what to expect or anything like that, and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go in there, what have I got to lose, and stuff like that. So when he asked me that question, I actually said, my goal today is to not be hated.
Alright, so I'd like to hear about collaboration. So if someone called you right now and said, I will give you any artist that you want to collaborate with.
So at the moment, I'm really, and I think it's because I tend to do a bit of research and I tend to look a lot into the things that I like and things like that. But at the moment, I would actually think Ryan Tedder from One Republic. And when you look into it, he really writes for singers. I've noticed that he tends to understand voices very well, and that's really inspired me with the way I write and the writing style that I kind of use. And so I think if there were anyone to collaborate with, it would definitely be him.
So what kind of singer would you say you are?
I don't even know. So when the day before the single came out, me and my manager went out to celebrate with a couple drinks, just at the local bar around the corner from his place. And so like, okay, and someone came up to us and they asked us, oh, what are you celebrating for? And we're like, oh, my single goes up at 12 o'clock tonight. And they go, oh, what genre is it? And I go, I looked at my manager and I'm like, and he's just like, well, it's sort of like a mix of pop and soul and rock and funk and R&B, and we're like, oh god, okay,
contemporary music.
Yeah, something like that. And so I didn't even know where to place it. And then the next day it pops up on iTunes under the soul category, and so I'm like, okay, sure.
What's a funky soul song?
Oh, thank you very much.
Very funky soul song. Carmelo, I know that image is something that is very important to you. Can you talk to us about what you've been doing with yourself over the last year and a half?
Surprisingly important. A lot of people would say that it's for... It's like having the look, a certain, like a more attractive look or something like that. But I would say for me, it's actually not that, I'm not that focused on that. I'm actually more focused on feeling better about myself, and it's not really like, it's like you've got to feel good about yourself. You've got to feel, if you feel good looking, you feel confident, and it takes away a certain awkward edge to your performances. It gives you, it makes you look that little bit more relaxed, because you know, when all eyes are on you, it's sort of like ruling out things that they could be thinking.
Carmelo, the big question: are you single these days?
I am, actually.
Have you been single since 2012?
No, I go back and forth. I did have a relationship for a little bit then, and no, not anymore. So yeah, no, I am single now. I think I've been so for 4 or 5 months.
Carmelo's single and searching?
Sure.
No.
Sure.
Not searching?
No.
Okay, Carmelo's single and plain. 3 things that we don't know about you, Carmelo.
So, let's say my audition for the X Factor. Didn't intend to go for the X Factor. My friends literally pushed me through the door. I was just in the city and my friends decided, oh, let's just go out to the city today and have fun and blah 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 blah. They were planning it all along. I didn't know, and they had actually just pushed me into the door and signed me up for the X Factor.
That's awesome.
Which was a lot of fun. Number 2, my lucky number is 13. I'm born on the 13th, live at the house number 13. I was the 13th contestant on the X Factor. Just keeps coming up, that's my lucky number. So the album is going to be called Lucky 13. Yeah,
that's
and
an exclusive?
That is an exclusive, actually. That's an exclusive.
Wonderful.
And the third thing, let me think. Somehow, don't ask me how I got roped into it, because I do write all my songs, but somehow one of the songs on the new album has some dubstep in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't ask me how. It just happened.
Okay. And we're not going to get you to try.
Nah,
no.
Not yet. Not yet.
All right. Awesome. All right. So I think we've talked about what's next for you. Do you want to summarise that, and we're done?
So what's next for me would be. Hopefully I want to play out this single for as long as I possibly can. Not too long. I want it to get to its peak position, because we don't even think it's really started yet. We haven't actually done the tour yet or anything like that, but that's in the works as well. So we've got the tour in the works. We've actually got 2 follow-up singles ready to go, and with the 3rd, which if everything goes my way, they'll all be out by this year, because we've got them already.
And we all know things don't really go your way. There are people that plan.
Yeah, well, let's hope. Things don't always go my way. I don't have dates, but I plan to have it. I plan to have it I plan to have at least my second song out by this year, but ideally I want my third, and like I want the album to come out with the third song, and I would like them all out this year.
I think we want to hear a lot more from you, and No Breaks is a beautiful song. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Carmelo. You've been awesome.
Thank you very much.